All right, welcome back to another episode of the Black Bullion Show. Seasonality may strike silver by the end of June. What am I referring to exactly? Well, stay tuned and I'll get right into it. But first, if you're new to this channel, please hit that big red subscribe button right down below. Also, please hit the like button. It helps to get this economic evangelism right on out there to the masses. Okay, so we've got a new one from Kitco. The headline reads, "An excellent seasonal buying opportunity in silver lies directly ahead." So according to the past 52 years of silver's pricing, 31 out of the past 52 years, that's nearly about 60%, but 31 of those years, we saw a dip in silver pricing at the end of June. That is this month that we are currently in. Now, obviously, we are living in very, very, very strange times. This crisis, so to speak, has altered investor behavior from the norm. However, within this 51-year period that we are looking at, and here is actually a chart that shows the seasonality. And as you can see down here, towards the end of June, we have this dip. But yeah, within this 51-year period, we have instances of contraction during summer seasons. So, it is tough to say for sure what will happen based on historical data. But, let's check some, at least 4 silver ETFs and see how they're performing. Because as we know, in the ETF game, there's a lot of pumping and dumping. So I'm curious to see how these ETFs are performing, so we can get an idea, if there might be some sell-offs coming down the pipeline in the near future towards the end of June. So first off, let's take a look at SLV. So here we are with SLV, currently at $16.50. I am recording this on Sunday, and it's a little bit late. So let's take a look at where we are. So as you can see here, let me actually start back here. In May, we had less volume coming into SLV. And then as the price started to pick up, volume increased, started to decline a little bit, but still, somewhat okay. And we start to see a little bit of a dip in recent days, actually, in volume and also in price. And then on June 19th, we saw a little bit of a rise. And we saw a little bit of a rise in the price of SLV. Let's take a look at the RSI down here. RSI basically is a little bit in a bit of a middle territory at 57.64 to date. So we're kind of in this middle territory. It looks like we are starting to see some upward movement, the beginning of some upward movement here. And this may spell the beginning of, maybe a little bit of somewhat of a pump here. And as you can see, we're moving a little bit past that moving average a little bit that was developed between the two bands and the Bollinger Bands. And we're above the moving average that we have here, the simple moving average. All right, so let's take a look at SIVR. So SIVR is actually, performing somewhat similarly. In the beginning of May, we had less volume. Towards the middle, more volume, and then it starts to taper off. And then in the recent days, we're starting to see a little bit of an upward momentum. Same thing with the pricing. RSI is also somewhere in the middle territory, about 57.57. Let's take a look at USLV. USLV pretty much same behavior as we're seeing. So we're seeing a common pattern here. Finally, let's take a look at AGQ. And pretty much same thing, generally speaking, as far as volume, as far as pricing, as far as the RSI. We're kind of in this this middle territory, but I'm starting to see some upward movement in volume and also in pricing. So we might be at the very beginning of a little bit of an uptick in pricing. We're approaching where the trajectory is approaching the upper band of the Bollinger Bands. Now, once we start to approach that a little bit more, once we start to obviously hit above 70 in the RSI, then we may actually start to see some pricing reverting in the opposite direction, which could mean that we may have a reversal in pricing and maybe a little bit of a dip in a possible buying opportunity in silver by the end of June. But all in all, again, I'm seeing some upper movement, but things have not overheated quite yet. I'll be watching prices this week, all things being equal. Now, remember, every day we are getting some crazy economic data that could change the trajectory of the pricing. So when I say all things being equal, I mean as far as how silver is moving against the current data that we have right now. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that silver will be hitting a low by the end of June? Let me know in the comments section below. Let me know what data you guys are looking at. Let me know if I'm a little bit off base here. But thanks again for watching. Please hit the like button. Also, please hit the subscribe button down below. Thanks again. It's Black Bullion.